Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Monday, the 20th of July. Starting off with the BATM, where we've had a gap through resistance, all-time high, the near-term high for the shares at £1.36. It's also the floor of the gap from Friday, and at least while we're above 136, looking for a top of March trend channel target as high as £1.80 over the next few weeks, perhaps by the end of next month. Another situation which is looking quite sprightly at the moment is global petroleum. Here, everything really depends on the 200-day moving average at 1.3 pence. End of day close above that, and we could head up for a retest, a more lasting retest of the 1.8 pence initial peak of July. Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the March trend channel there, maybe 1.9 could be seen as well. As long as we remain above the floor of the overnight gap at 1.2 pence, the upside argument looks to be in play for global. No such difficulties in terms of the bullish momentum behind Greatland Gold. It's been one of the best charting formations of the year to date, but the staircase pattern, especially in place since April with the rise and then the sideways consolidation, another rise and again sideways. That is normally seen in the strongest of situations. And the view here is that while we're above the floor of the February resistance, February trend channel rather, at 11.13 pence, also the 50-day line, we could head up to 18 pence over the next 1 to 2 months, perhaps by the end of September at the latest. If you're cautious on the shares, obviously wait for an end of day close above 13 pence, which has been the 2020 intraday high to date. On to Karelian, which has been one of the better movers today so far. Another play really on the 200-day moving average. That's at 2.8 pence, so we need to see an end of day close above that to solidify the bull argument. And if we can do that, then that could mark the start of a journey towards the top of a broadening triangle from May, heading as high as 5.5 pence, and obviously retesting that May resistance. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for an end of day close above the 50-day line at 3.25 pence before getting into or entering the fray there. Covered many of the pharma stocks yesterday, kicking and screaming as I was requested by a number of people on Twitter. One of the stocks was Omega Diagnostics, and it's sort of done what it was, the bulls were hoping for it to do, i.e. breaking 40 pence and heading towards the 50-day line at currently just under 51 pence. Shame we haven't so far managed to hit the 50-day line, but an end of the day close above the 50-day line could open up not only a retest of May resistance towards 90 pence, but also the top of a broadening triangle from April as high as £1.40 over the next 2 to 3 months. But everything here really depending on holding 40 pence and then eventually breaking the 50-day line over the next few sessions. No such doubts in terms of the strength of Synairgen. That's been the knockout winner of the day to date, blowing off the doors in all respects in terms of the charting and fundamentals as well. But we've seen the shares actually hit the rather ambitious sounding target from yesterday at 85 to 90 pence, which is the top of that broadening March trend channel, and at least while we're above today's intraday low at 85 pence, then looking for a best case scenario target at a January resistance line projection, currently heading as high as £1.70. Ideally, there's no end of day close really back below the £1 level, which I suppose is half of the intraday range that we've had so far today. Not quite as bullish, but nevertheless looking strong is Touchstone Exploration. The reason for the inclusion today is the gap through previous resistance. We've had that breaking both the resistance in February and June, July, and the view at this stage is at least while we're above the initial July resistance at 59 pence, we could head up to the top of a rising trend channel from way back in July, this time last year, up to 85 or even 90 pence as soon as sometime in September. Wouldn't be the Bulletin Board Heroes without looking at one of the stronger plays around, which is Tiziana Life Sciences. Came up with a £2.60 target last week, which seemed rather ambitious at the time, but now looks doable. That's the top of a rising trend channel from March, the upper parallel of the climb that we had from March from way down below 50 pence, especially while we're above that old peak, £1.72 from March, looking for that £2.60 target to happen, hopefully by the end of next month. Obviously, people waiting on the STEM printer news, which will come in before that, but it looks as though pretty good squeeze ahead of that particular event. Finishing off with stock which I don't think I've looked at very much before, but deserves a mention. Now Venture Life gapped up today through the 50-day and up to the 20-day moving average there at 78 pence, and an end-of-day close above the 20-day line should be enough to deliver further moves to the upside. Just how high we could climb is suggested by that resistance line projection from March, currently heading up towards 105 pence. So above the 20-day line, up to 105, and only really back below the 50-day line at 73 pence, really delaying the target on the upside. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.